Welcome back from your 3-day weekend.
Today is January 19th, and to start us off, we have an inspirational kindness challenge for you.
3, 2, 1. Welcome, Muirlands, to the Great Kindness Challenge. Next week, beginning on January 25th, we're going to finish our Great Kindness Challenge with Spirit Week. Monday, it is hats off to kindness. Everybody tip your hat to kindness. On Tuesday, kindness rocks. Dress like a rock star. Play some air guitar. On Wednesday, we're going to ride the kindness wave and surf like you're at the beach. All right. Thursday, you're going to wear your favorite sports uniform because we are Team Kindness. Sweet. And peace out on Friday because peace, love, and kindness. Wear your hippie attire. And this is brought to you by Muirlands ASB. And peace out, everybody.
Thanks, Miss Worley. Do you know why we had a 3-day weekend?
Well, Peyton, yesterday we had a day off to remember and honor the great Martin Luther King Jr. for his acts of bravery and kindness.
Now we have Maria giving us a presentation on MLK.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Role Model Monday. Today we're going to be talking about Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was an American Baptist minister and activist. He was born in 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. He attended Boston University and later married Coretta Scott King. Together they had 4 children. Dr. King Jr. was a leader for the Civil Rights Movement. His work began in 1955 and ended in 1968 when he was assassinated. While his work was important, many people thought it was dangerous because it disrupted the status quo. What he fought for. Martin Luther King Jr. was known for fighting for civil rights for Black Americans. Even though slavery had officially ended many years before, there was still a lot of institutionalized racism. He fought against segregation laws and social customs, and he fought for there to be equality for all Americans. Now, we all know his famous I Have a Dream speech, so I decided to share my 2 favorite lines. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. Yesterday, January 18th, was the National MLK Jr. holiday to commemorate and honor all his hard work. Many call this day a day of service and use it to perform meaningful acts of service in their communities. Thank you. Rest in peace, Dr. King.
Wow, so informative, Maria. Do you like to test your knowledge? If so, Lucas and Maya are here with some trivia questions to do just that.
Question 1. Where was the first democracy developed? A. In Beirut, Lebanon. B. In Athens, Greece. C. In Rome, Italy. Or D. In Aleppo, Syria. If you guessed B. Athens, Greece, then you are correct.
Question 2. What is demos the Greek root word for? A. Government. B. People. C. Politics. Or D. Republic. If you got B. People, you are correct.
Question 3. What type of democracy does the U.S. have? A. Direct. B. Representative. C. Constitutional. And D. Monetary. The correct answer is B. Representative.
Question 4. What is the legislative branch of government in charge of? A. Enforcing the laws. B. Running the government. C. Making the laws. Or D. Running the Supreme Court. The correct answer is C. Making the laws. And that's it for the trivia segment. Back to you guys.
Phew! That really got my brain working.
Why don't we have Jossie play us some music?
One man come in the name of love. One man come and go. One man come here to justify. One man to overthrow. In the name of love. What more? The name of love. In the name of love. What more? The name of love.
Great job, Jossie. Next, Enzo will be interviewing some students on their interpretation of his history survey.
Hello everyone and welcome to the student survey. Here are this week's questions.
Number 1. Who do you think is or was the most important civil rights leader and why? Next, what important civil rights changes still need to happen in the world? And finally, what does democracy mean to you?
Hi. To me, the most important civil rights leader is MLK Jr. because he sought equality and human rights for the African Americans. One of the civil rights that I think needs to happen is free transportation for kids to and from school, also the access to playgrounds without having to drive. Third question. I think democracy means the right to live freely and be happy.
I think Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was the most important civil rights leader because he sought equality and human rights for Black people, the economically disadvantaged, and all victims of injustice through peaceful protests. Changes that would ensure equal rights to everyone no matter their race, gender, and economic status. A life where everyone is equal despite their differences.
For number 1, it is hard to pinpoint an exact civil rights leader when across the generations there have been many that have fought relentlessly for civil rights. But some like Malcolm X, MLK, and Malala have all done great for civil rights. Number 2, I think civil rights that need to be established is universal health care and education. And finally, number 3, I think democracy is the right to have your voice heard. Every voice matters.
Thanks, Enzo. Now Ruhi is going to share with us a tricky dilemma.
Hey Dolphins, it's me here, Ruhi, and today I have a moral dilemma for you. So this is a very tricky question, and we're going to see if you are going to be able to answer. So let's pretend you're standing on top of a cliff, and there are 3 things hanging off of it. Which one would you save first? A, your parents. I know your parents are 2 different people, but let's just pretend if you were to pull up one, both of them would come. And if you just have one parent, then that's also fine. B, a pet. Any pet that you have, like a pet that you would love, never want to lose, or just like your dream pet. And then C is $2 million in a suitcase. Which one would you guys save first?
Ooh, that was a tough question. Have you been bored of the same old books? This week, Miss Ventica has a whole new book selection just for you.
Hey Dolphins, I'm pleased to be coming to you from our school library. Today I wanted to talk to you about a man named John Robert Lewis. John Robert Lewis has most recently been known as a congressman representing the state of Georgia for about 33 years before his death at age 80 just last August. Prior to his time in Congress, Mr. Lewis was a part of the nonviolent struggle for racial equality, and he spent the years of the civil rights movement battling racial injustice by organizing sit-ins at segregated lunch counters and organizing voter registration drives, volunteering to participate in the freedom rides, peacefully leading 600 protesters across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama in 1965. Before Mr. Lewis passed away, he authored a 3-book graphic novel series titled March, and they share his memories of the civil rights movement and his nonviolent struggle for racial equality. We have these books here in our library. So the first one is March, Book 1. This is March, Book 2. And March, Book 3. And they are black and white graphic novels that give you a picture and text view of Mr. Lewis's personal experiences during the civil rights movement. So I hope you check these out when you come into the library, and I hope to be posting some information about these on the Google Classroom. Thank you and have a great day. Bye, dolphins.
Next, we have a special edition of Project Wisdom from Annabelle.
Good morning, Muirlands. This is Annabelle with a few words of wisdom. On January 20th, President-elect Joe Biden will be inaugurated as the 46th President of the United States. During the course of the campaign, we witnessed a diverse range of viewpoints and learned a lot about both candidates. We are fortunate to live in a country where fundamentally, speaking freely is protected and a priority. In my personal opinion, I think that sadly some Americans, like people of color or members of the LGBTQ+ community, do not have the full freedom of speech, but we are working toward it. In the past, it has been encouraging to know that we can come together peacefully to inaugurate the new president. On January 6, however, the former president, Donald J. Trump, incited a riot at Capitol Hill. One woman was shot and killed, and there were a number of neo-Nazis among the rioters. The reason behind all of this is that they believed incorrectly that there was fraud in the voting system and that President-elect Joe Biden should not actually be the next president. We can also come together as something larger than ourselves. Former President George H.W. Bush put it this way: "We are a nation of communities, a brilliant diversity spread like stars, like 1,000 points of light in a broad and peaceful sky." Remember that everyone is an important part of our democracy, and when our nation of communities work together, we create a brighter future for all. With something to think about, this is Annabelle. Make it a great day or not. The choice is yours.
Congratulations, Muirlands 8th graders, for your hard work, integrity, and creativity. Next week, January 25th through the 29th, is Spirit Week. Show your school support and participate.
Yo, get my yearbook back. Bro, that's mine. Bro, look, hey, that's my yearbook. See, it has my name on it.
If you're interested in buying a 2021 Muirlands yearbook, please head to jostens.com. And the last day to personalize your yearbook with your name and fun icons is next Friday, January 29th.
8th grade special recognition ads and the price for the yearbook itself are both $30 each. Last call for candid photos for the yearbook. Go to the school website to learn how.
Thanks for watching this week's student production of the Muirlands Bulletin.